Join the Music Universe podcast for this special social media extra from CRS 2021. Welcome to the Music Universe podcast extra, YouTube social media extra. I'm Matt.
And I'm Buddy, and we are live from CRS 2021 virtual due to the pandemic, of course. And we have Manny Blu with us. And Manny, welcome to the show. And just want to, for those that may not be familiar, but I know you're getting out there and kind of in a rebellious type outlaw attitude, which we love here on the show, that country outlaw. Tell us a little more about your music and the new single that you've got out.
Yeah, well, I think that what's cool is that, well, I'll talk about myself. I'm Manny Blu. I'm having some fun with music right now. We're doing this sort of country punk thing, and we've got some videos, some live videos that we're going to release all through April. I think that it's something I've been wanting to do since the pandemic started, not knowing when we were going to play live shows. So we ended up, we're able to film and record covers and, original songs with the way we play them live, sort of a live version with the extended intro or outro or things like that, solos and things like that. So it's been fun. I think we have 2 out now, and we have 4 more coming out before we start releasing new music.
I love that. Now, talk about your inspirations in music. I know you're very much a rock fan, very much a country music fan, very much a big country rocker. Who are some of your influences?
Well, I mean, I think, having come down to Nashville doing country pop, and starting to understand that there's more things that you can do than just the country pop. It's all I knew coming down from Canada. But quickly, Cadillac 3, Brantley Gilbert, those guys became huge influences right away. And I think that's kind of what started changing my mind and being able to start playing with different sounds and different things that I wanted to do. I think growing up, I'm born in 94. So, kind of everything, music that was around, I'm starting to notice was all the 2000 stuff, and the pop punk is starting to have a resurgence. And I think, I want to participate in my way and do it in country punk. And I think that we are able to do that with the live and turned up videos that we're putting out on YouTube. And I think that we're having a lot of fun with it.
So I've never heard of country punk myself,
right?
Country rock. Can you explain how that differs from country rock? Like, how do you do punk country style?
Sure. Well, we just created the term country punk. So we're working on that. I think what it is I think so. Country rock has kind of become a thing, which is awesome, and I love, and that's something I've kind of helped me get to country punk. But country rock to me it's heavy, but it's also slow, and it's basically it is rock version of country music. And what I want to do is bring the country songwriting, storytelling aspect with more of a rock and roll vibe, and not so much the sort of heavy, but more of the upbeat, fast tempo, kind of fun, swag type stuff. So I think that there's some rock and roll swag and attitude missing in country, and I think that we can bring that.
Love it. Love your tattoos too. Thank you for showing off those sleeves. Can we get a little bit of a tour? What do those tats mean, and is there anything connected with your artistry?
Yeah, well, this is an angel. This was my first big tattoo. It was took about 5 hours. I got it when I turned 18. My grandfather on my mom's side had passed away long before I was born. And so I thought that an angel would be a cool way to represent him, kind of looking down and protecting me and my brother. So I got that. That was my first big one. I've got this sort of old school boxer from my history and MMA and fighting.
Oh, cool.
What else do I've got here that's got some cool? Well, that right there is a family crest. My dad and my brother and I both have it. My mom's got sort of word that unites us together, tattooed on her foot as well. So yeah, I got some stuff that has some meaning, and some stuff just look cool, but most of it does have meaning, I think. I got my newest one is the brass knuckles on my hand. I did MMA, and my trainer, we were out one day, and we were at the bar having a drink not too long ago, when things started opening up in Canada, when I was quarantined up there. And the bartender looked at me and said, "Hey, you got a lot of rings on. You can knock somebody out with those." And he was sitting next to me, my old trainer, and said, "Well, he can knock somebody out without them. He hits really hard." And I was like, I've always had this idea for brass knuckles on my hand, but I never had a reason to tattoo it until he said that. And I was like, well, he kind of gave me the ability to be allowed to tattoo that on my hand. So I got his blessing that I used to hit really hard.
That is awesome. Now, you mentioned MMA. How does one go from MMA to music? What was that journey?
You don't want to get punched in the face anymore. I tore my quad in my first amateur fight, and sort of during the recovery process, I found music and found a guitar and started learning and liking the ability to be free and not worry about going to the gym and not worry about going to get punched in the face anymore, and just be able to take some time and learn a new skill, which is guitar playing, and accompany myself. So I thought that was something I wanted to pursue a little bit deeper. And as I did it, I fell more and more in love with it. And here we are in Nashville.
Yeah. Now, back to the music. Tell us about Born to Ride. You've garnered over 350,000 YouTube views. And then also your sophomore EP, New Ink, just released a few months ago.
Yeah.
Some pretty big songwriters helping you there. Tell us about the new music.
Well, that was an album that we had been sitting on for quite a bit, and we wanted to release that earlier 2020. Following we had a showcase booked that was supposed to take place the day after the tornado. So for obvious reasons, we had to cancel that, and we went on tour 3 days later. That got canceled with COVID. Not sure. Not sure how long that was going to take. We weren't sure when that album was going to come out, but we were able to find a good time for it and start releasing Born to Ride. We released it in July, with the video to follow a couple weeks after that, which was awesome. Luckily I had Aaron Esses, who's the producer of that album, that EP, and he's connected to Smack Songs. So he was able to get us all these songs that they had in their catalog, and I was able to sift through a little bit and see what I really wanted the album to be about and say and sound like. And we were able to do that. I don't get to see who's a songwriter until I get the lyrics. Once I get the lyrics and I'm interested in the song, the songwriters are on the lyric sheet. So it was pretty wild to see those names on top of that sheet, and I'm glad that they let me cut it.
Yeah, and those names, Josh Osborne, Ross Copperman, and Rhett Akins, just 3 powerhouse kick-ass national songwriters right now. Manny, what does it feel like to have 350,000 YouTube views on one video? That's not an accumulation of a bunch of videos. That's just one.
It's crazy, man. I didn't know how. I was hoping for. We were hoping to get something close to a couple of thousand for sure. You never want to put something out and just be like, well, there it is. But we were hoping for we thought 100 would be great. If we got 100,000 views, that would be fantastic. That would be mission accomplished. And to constantly go back to it and see it kind of rise, and the number keeps getting bigger, and friends and even people within my camp. I know once the number started accumulating pretty quick, our sound guy and production manager Ryan was keep sending me screenshots, almost every 2 days of how big the number was getting. So you kind of try not to let it affect anything, and you just move on with your day. But when they keep getting messages, I didn't want to be too hopeful and get overly excited with that. But it is definitely a cool accomplishment, and it's cool to know that people are watching the video. And I think they told me that the stats were that people were watching the whole thing at like a 86% rate or something like that. So people are actually watching the whole video, and that's awesome, because we put time into it and thought, and really a video that we had. I mean, it was really cold to shoot that day, but it was a video we had fun when I'm with the band. We're always having fun, right? So it was cool. It was so I mean, to see the number grow like that on something that we created is pretty surreal.
That's awesome. You talked earlier about the awesome songwriters that you have, that you found out when you saw the lyrics. How does it feel to know that songwriting and these icons are kind of in line with what you want to do in country and rock and punk, and that it is kind of going in that direction?
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, what's the coolest thing of the whole I guess situation is that I have 3 songs on New Ink written by Josh Osborne, and I didn't know that. So what's cool is when you start to see the same names show up, there's obviously something within his writing that speaks to me, and that I think is super cool. And definitely, I love new songs. I love going through songs and going through the whole process. But we're definitely creating ourselves a little team here, a little couple of pods of songwriters that we're trying to really captivate this country punk thing, and people who we want, writers who are motivated. So we're reaching out to people we know moved to Nashville for pursuing a sort of career that maybe they aren't doing right now, but we want we're going to get some guys that can flex that sort of punk and country muscle and be able to write some really cool songs to put out this year.
Yeah, sounds great. And I bet you can't wait to get back on the road, right?
That's like the understatement of the last year and a half, I think. I mean, we're luckily we're able to be on stage, and we have this live and turned up stuff that we're doing that I get to play and still rehearse with the band, because we don't want to spend all day filming that. We did 6 songs, so if we can crush it in 1 or 2 takes and move on to the next song, that's the point. So we're definitely not cutting and splicing parts. We're definitely recording and taking the best take of the 2. So record the whole thing straight through and film it and release it. So we're gonna do that 2 more times this year. So we're gonna stay busy. We're gonna be writing hopefully putting out 2 EPs this year, as well as a hell of a lot more live and turned up videos.
Right on, man. You're the real raw deal, man. I love it. All original and organic, and looking forward to more music that you're going to crank out in the live series. Anything else you want to add as we wrap things up?
We got live and turned up February 26th coming out. A song called 95 is an original unreleased. So y'all are going to get to hear the first time the song is going to be ever released is going to be live version. And that is the exact epitome of what country punk is.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, brother. Well, Manny,
awesome.
Best of luck. Thanks for joining us, and hope you enjoy the CRS virtual as much as we are.
You two guys as well. Thank you so much.